Hey everybody, I'm going to talk to you about the transition into triangle pose, trikonasana. And this is a movement that I find myself explaining very often. And so I've decided to do this kind of instructional or video blog to clarify some points about it. I'll still probably end up explaining it several times, but at least I'll have this video to refer to. So if we start standing at the front of the mat, typically we open to the right. Sometimes I play around with it in my practice, I open to the left. But a lot of the principles are the same. So on an inhale, I'm opening, and you, over time, will be able to gauge distance of what, you want wider or shorter. The key is this motion of being able to pivot on the heels. Now there are some, like in Iyengar style, that emphasize different kinds of alignment. You do whatever feels right for you. I've always felt very, very comfortable with simply my heels in the line of the middle toe. So if there's a line from the heel to the middle toe, if I draw that line and continue it, that's where the other heel connects. It's always, as a side note, it's always frustrating when people say, bring your feet into a line, because your feet are 2 points, and between 2 points you can always draw a line. This is a line, this is a line, this is, okay, you get it. So the line is parallel with the length of my mat. And so the motion is on the heels being able to pivot. And it's the same thing if you're in a wider stance for like side angle. I'm just pivoting on the heels. Now for triangle, the back foot is at about a 45. Again, nothing's really set in stone. And if you ever do any yoga therapy with me, you know that what's most important is actually the orientation of the knees. So the knees are pointing out at a 45, and that might mean the foot is something different than 45, less or more. But that's going into a lot of details that private consultation would be able to tell you more about. Okay, so I stand at the front of the mat. Inhale, I open. And on an exhale, the right hand, or let's say the back foot hand, that's the front, the back foot hand comes in front, and the front foot hand goes behind as I lunge. So again, inhale, open. Exhale, and I look behind me where the attention goes, the energy flows. It's the Tai Chi movement. Exhale. So you can do this a few times just to get familiar with the motion, get the muscle memory down. The purpose of why we're doing this is to keep soft knees as we enter the pose. Versus originally in the Ashtanga system, the legs are straight, and then I fold over. You can maintain soft knees there. The tendency is to lock the knee, and that is riskier. It's not totally dangerous, but it's riskier. So we're training ourselves to have soft knees. And over time, you'll bend your knees less and less, and it will become that you don't need to do this unless you really want to. So it's an inhale, exhale, look behind me. Inhale, straighten the leg and reach out. And by straight, there's still a little bend in the knee. And then exhale into the pose. Options could be elbow to just above the knee, so I have a more prominent bend here. Hand to the shin, hand to the ankle. Maybe I grab the big toe. The left hand, you could keep it behind the back. That's kind of a different pose. Hand to the hip, or maybe reach to the sky. You can look to the top hand, to the horizon, or down. So sometimes down feels better on people's necks. Wherever you gaze, just gaze there steadily, deep breaths. And on the exhale, I bend the back leg, or the bound leg, let's say. Inhale, come up and pivot on the heels. And then again, exhale, lunge, back arm behind, front arm in front, look behind you. And inhale, straighten and reach out. I'm using this backhand to assist in the external rotation of the thigh. It's a reminder to not let the knee buckle in, but to externally rotate and tuck the front leg butt cheek under. Exhale, look down, bend the knee, inhale, come up. And exhale, step to the front of the mat. Or there might be another pivot as I inhale, come up, and then exhale into the revolved version. Now, once you get the breath pattern down, so what we just did was inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. We can take a full breath cycle out of that. So all in the exhale, I fold into triangle. Inhale, exhale, inhale. That's much more efficient and saves us, 15 seconds off our yoga practice. Look down, micro bend the knee, inhale, come up, pivot. Exhale. Inhale. Down, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Or what have you. So the width depends on your level of openness. Actually, the shorter the stance, the more difficult the pose. But then we tend to back bend, banana back, the lower back, the butt sticks out. This is an inner thigh opener and a hip opener. So this is actually a leg behind the head prep. This is lengthening a lot of the muscles you'll need to get the leg behind the head. So always key features in triangle is pushing out through both edges of the feet. The feet are pushing away from each other. Arches are lifted, knees are soft, and it's a spiraling of the chest. So we don't want a lot of side bend here. If I have to side bend a lot, then I might just take the hand higher so that my torso can be more or less straight, and yet I'm twisting to spiral the chest open to the sky. And I think that's all I want to say on triangle right now. There's more. There's books written on triangle pose, and triangle is one of the most seminal and prominent yoga poses in all of the Hatha Yoga system. So it's a very important pose, and I hope this was helpful for the Sadhana Yoga Chi method, where I learned from Doug Swenson of how to get into the pose. All right, Namaste, ninth one.